Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. We are back to work this evening on hoop coop number 3 for the homestead. You guys, it has been, I don't even know how to say it, brutal outside for the last few days. It is 8 o'clock at night. It's still 95 degrees outside with 75% or more humidity. And we are just able to finally get back to work for the day.
In the mornings, we've had a couple hours. We've been able to get chores done and then get a little bit of work done. And then really, you guys, it's just been too hot way before lunchtime to stay out here and work. And then, you know, at 6 p.m., I checked to see what the weather was because maybe we could get back out here. You guys, it was still over 100 degrees at 6 p.m. So here we are, 8 o'clock, trying to get some work done before the sun goes down completely, before we need to do some chores. There are some things, like we said, that we got accomplished on this hoop coop earlier in the morning. We want to show that to you, and then hopefully we'll get this finished enough so that tomorrow morning we can bring the Silkies to their new home and bring you along for that as well.
Right. So let's grab the camera. We're going to go over and show you what we accomplished on the hoop coop this morning off camera and catch you up to speed on where we're at. So when we ended the last video, you guys, we had done the front door kind of frame, but we hadn't put a door on the hoop coop yet, and we didn't do any kind of framing on the back. So as you can see, I got the back completely framed. We did it exactly the same as we did the front. We also went ahead and we put this 1/2-inch hardware cloth down here on the bottom. This is 2 feet tall. This will provide some good protection for the Silkies once they're in here. From here on up, it'll be chicken wire, but this 1/2-inch hardware cloth will give them extra protection from predators that try to reach through when they're sleeping at night. I also went ahead and built a door for the hoop coop. Let's walk around the front and I'll show you that. Just kind of a basic door. I built it actually I ripped some 2x4s into 2x2s to build the door. Saved us a little bit of money by being able to do that. I also installed a piece of plywood here on the bottom of the door. The reason that I did this is because we want to be able to let the Silkies out to free range. At first, what we'll do is we'll just open this big door all the way and just let them out during the day. But during the times of year when we have our dairy cattle up here, during the times of year when they're in milk and we need to have them up in this area to be milking, if we leave this door open, the dairy cattle are going to go in here to just eat whatever's in there as far as chicken food or anything else. So we want to be able to leave this shut, and I put plywood on here so that eventually we can just cut out a small door here to open up to let the Silkies out, but that the cattle won't be able to get in. So that's why we put plywood here instead of just hardware cloth on the bottom of the door. So the next thing that we need to do tonight is we need to put chicken wire on the rest of the hoop coop. Basically, we're going to put that from here up on the front and the back, and then we're going to put it all the way over so that even if a raccoon or something like that were to rip through the tarp that we're going to put over this, there's chicken wire and they can't get in to attack our Silkie chicks. This chicken wire I ordered on Amazon. I was actually able to get it cheaper on Amazon than I was here locally, so we ordered, this is a 150-foot roll. It's the 1-inch chicken wire, and I think this will do a good job. Alright, we're going to cut this to about 82 inches. That should be enough to get us across the entire length of the hoop coop, plus a couple inches extra to kind of fold over the edges. We've got this cut to the right length. We're going to basically put this right over the top of the, right above where the hardware cloth ends. We'll overlap it maybe an inch with the hardware cloth so we can put some cage clips on there when we're done. And we're going to use a staple gun to just staple this to the wood, and then we'll kind of bend it around the actual cattle panels here on the side. We've got the chicken wire put across the entire front. It took two pieces. I will come back with some cage clips and connect. You can see where two pieces meet here. We'll put some cage clips there to hold that tight. But we went right across the door. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut out the door. I stapled it on the door itself and I stapled it on the frame. So we'll just come through and we'll just basically cut the door loose. If we need to come add some more staples, we will. Now this piece of the door here up to where the latch is, we're just going to cut that completely out. We don't need chicken wire where the plywood is. You can see that the door opens, but you guys, it's getting a little too dark to keep filming yet tonight. I know our camera does a really good job and it may not look like it, but it's getting pretty dark. It's about 8:45 at night. So you guys, this is where we're going to end this part of the video. We'll see you guys back in the morning, which will be just a second for you guys. Well, we're back at work this morning, although we're getting a late start. We're about 2 or 3 hours behind schedule because out of nowhere we got a 2-hour storm this morning.
It was such a blessing, you guys. It's been so dry here. The pastures have been suffering, our fruit trees have been suffering. And so 2 hours of rain this morning was amazing, like real rain.
Right.
Some downpours and then just some light rain on and off. Oh, it was amazing.
Right, it was.
So we're behind schedule, but we're happy to be behind schedule. Although it is a little bit cool right now, but according to the forecast, within the next 2 hours, it's supposed to go from 79 degrees to 92 degrees. And after the rain, it's so humid. So we just need to work quickly to get this project completed.
So last night after we turned the camera off, we finished putting the chicken wire on the front and the back, so those are completely done. So the last thing we have to do as far as chicken wire goes is we need to put, it's going to take 3 pieces to go up and over, so we cover this entire thing in chicken wire. That's what we're going to do next. We're basically going to take the roll, attach it at the bottom, and just roll it over. And then once it's completely rolled over, we'll pull it tight and we'll attach it on this side with staples.
Awesome.
Now this piece we need to pull tighter because there's more.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do as good of a job as you. Ready?
Yeah. Nope. Oh. Got it.
All right. We've got the chicken wire completely put on now. The entire thing is covered in chicken wire. The last thing we're going to do before we get ready to put our tarp on is I'm going to take these cage clips, or sometimes they're called J clips, and where the chicken wire goes over the hoop just at the front and the back, I want to make sure that that's secured so that raccoons or anything can't try to ever kind of pull this up and get in. So these J clips will go around the cattle panel. They just barely make it, but you can come here close and I'll show you how we're going to attach this. So you can see where the chicken wire is here. We'll take one of these J clips and we'll bend that around. and then that attaches that chicken wire nice and tight to the cattle panel. I already did the front side, so we're going to finish up this back side, and then we're ready to start putting on our tarp. Next step is going to be putting on our tarp. Now, if you've watched us build these hoop coops in the past, you may remember that in the past we've used old billboard material. It was some billboard vinyl that we got from someone that we know, from billboards that have been taken down along the freeway, and it's really heavy-duty stuff. We're all out of that, so this time we're going to be using a heavy-duty tarp. This was the thickest one that I could find at Walmart. Now, our hoop coop is 8 feet wide and about 16 feet when you go across, because our cattle panels were 16 feet. This tarp is 10 foot by 16 feet, so we're going to have a little bit extra at one of the ends that we're just going to have to fold over and do the best that we can. I think it's going to be just fine, so we're just going to get putting this on. I did buy some washers as well, so when we screw through these grommets, we'll have washers on the outside to help hold those nice and tight. So I think this is going to go on pretty easily. Once we're done with this tarp, we'll just have two things left to do. We're going to put on some wind straps to help hold the tarp on, and then we'll build a perch inside, and then we'll be able to go to the homestead, gather up the Silkie, and bring them down. Before we put our tarp over the top of the hoop coop, we've got it laid out here. We're going to fold it to the size of the hoop coop. So we measured the hoop coop is 93 inches from front to back. So we're going to fold this tarp at 93 inches, and then I have this like heavy duty, it's called Gorilla Extreme Weather tape. And we're going to just put some pieces of that just to hold it, so that when we're putting it up and over, the fold stays where it's supposed to be. I think that'll do a pretty good job, and we'll be able to get this tarp on and move on to the next step.
Hold on. What is this?
All right, the tarp is completely on. Now we're going to add our wind strapping. It's basically like a plasticky material. This is what we use on our greenhouse to help hold the plastic on the greenhouse. And we've used this on our other hoop coops, and it's worked really well. Basically what this will do is it'll attach just below the tarp. We'll throw this up and over, and it'll go on the outside of the tarp. That way, if any wind gets under the tarp and starts to blow it, this will help hold it on. It should do a good job. We're just putting it on with some screws and washers. Well, I think we'll just put 3 of these on here, one front, middle, and back, and I think that should be good.
Yeah. Are there any twists?
Not that I can see. I'm gonna go just to the right, your left of this middle grommet.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
The very last thing we need to do on this hoop coop before we go get the silkies and bring them down to the farm is to add a perch. I'm just gonna make a simple perch out of a 2x2. It's just gonna run front to back like this. I'm just gonna attach it right to the boards that are already here. We're gonna leave it pretty low right now because these silky chicks are still pretty short. You know, they're not real big yet, so. Hey guys, right now it is 106 degrees with the heat index and the humidity, but I'm surprised actually inside this hoop coop, it's actually not too bad. You would think maybe the tarp would hold heat in, but because the front and back are completely open, there's actually a pretty decent breeze coming through here. So I think we're actually going to move the chicks right away. I was going to wait till evening, but I think it's actually cooler in here than it is in the barn that they're in. So I want to get them moved so that they're down here on the grass and in the cooler area. So this completes the hoop coop. We're going to go back to the homestead. We're going to load all the chicks into like dog carriers, and then we'll see you guys back down here to put them in the hoop coop.
Let's see if they'll come out on their own. I don't think they're gonna come out on their own. They're pretty scared. Hey guys. Here. Well, they're pretty scared right now, huddled in to that corner. This is an all new experience for them. They haven't experienced any of this grass and being outside. They're gonna have a great time. Now these guys are about 2 months old, maybe a little bit more than 2 months old. We got them right before Mother's Day, and they are a mixed flock of hens and roosters, or pullets and cockerels at this point. And they're also a mixture of colors. They're beautiful. I'm so excited to have them here. As they get a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more courage, they'll venture out. We'll be able to see all their beautiful colors. So I'm excited to have them here at the farm. That's just one more piece of the homestead that's moved down to the farm. Little by little, we're moving this direction. We're so excited to be one step closer to being here forever.
Well, the silkies are settling in. Now we're gonna leave them in the hoop coop for quite a while. I would say maybe even a month before we start letting them outside. They're still really small and they'd be really susceptible to predators. And they've got plenty of room in that hoop coop. So as long as they're doing fine in there, I think we'll leave them in there for quite a while.
Well, you guys, we're very happy with the way our silky hoop coop turned out. Excited to have them here at the homestead. You guys, if you're enjoying our videos, make sure that you hit that subscribe button below. And remember that the best way that you can help us here on the homestead is just to share our videos on your social media. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.